So where do you think the CMO role is going? Like, I think you've really demonstrated that it has changed. And the fact that maybe you were already kind of part of this technological movement within inside of the marketing team positioned you to be the right person for this next generation of
Mm.
marketing initiatives. From what you've learned right now, what do you think is the next level of the CMO?
I think it is staying grounded in the customer.
Mhm.
So I think that cannot change.
Right.
I do not believe that any CMO can succeed unless they have deep, deep understanding and empathy for their customer. I think layered on top of that is continued understanding of data. And also, I am super excited about AI. I'm a total AI geek, and I am constantly looking to the team to say, hey, how can we leverage this? Where can we test it? Because I think not, a lot of people think about it as, it's a great tool for efficiency. It can remove kind of the routine tasks, which I agree with 100%. But I also think it is this kind of amazing creativity boost because it just opens up your mind to a bunch of different things that you have never really thought about. And so it both frees up your mind, but also feeds ideas that, some of them are crazy, like they talk about the hallucinations and all that stuff. Like, fine, okay, it doesn't make any sense, whatever. But it's so freeing to have that like thought partnership
Mm.
that I just am so excited about.
That's awesome. And I think, are you also seeing it in a way that it's also going to free up resources for you as well?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, again, we're already seeing that on the content side of things. So
Mhm.
we're, as an example, so this integrated journey work that we're doing requires us to totally reimagine the steps that a customer takes, the messaging that we provide to them, the timing of that messaging, how it's delivered, what it looks like. And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And I have a pretty small team. And so we are leveraging tools to help us do this faster and better with a human involved, right? The human's always in the middle.
That's right.
But these tools, probably take off 20 to 30% of the work.
They do. And I think what's really interesting about AI, and at least using it for content creation, like you're talking about, is it's not necessarily based upon human beings having all the answers, but just being absolute badasses at asking great
Yeah,
questions.
isn't that like it is? It's such a reward for curious people like you and I, who just have all these questions, and you keep asking them, and no one says stop asking those stupid questions.
Yeah. The AI doesn't say that. Like, you can ask the question over and you can say, well, I like what you just told me, but I
Yeah.
want you to unpack it this way for me now.
Yeah.
And it is an incredible journey. And I like the way that you're seeing it. And it is truly, I think that this is a demarcation line in human history and in customer experience
Yes.
that we're going through right now. And like you mentioned, people are concerned about hallucinations and things like that, but all of that can be damped down and moderated.
Right.
That is now underway. And quite literally, it's the paradigm shift which is going to make or break organizations. And those that are hanging on to a previous paradigm that say, well, I think that people always want to talk to another person, and in fact, that's one of the mainstays of our organization. Like, I don't poo-poo that idea. I mean, I think there's some validity in it, and I think that there's some rightness in it. Like, you should rightfully be having that human connection. But at the same time, there are things that you don't need to be talking to people about
Yeah.
that the AI can handle. And to the customer's point, they will thank you for it. Like,
Right.
you just save them time.
Right. It's about helping figure out when and if a human should be involved.
That's right.
I actually am a pretty strong believer that not everyone wants to talk to a human being. I can assure you, I never answer my phone, especially if I think it's someone calling to sell me something. But if I can do it without a human, maybe this says more about me than anything else. Like, I will. And so there's a segment of the population that's like that. But for the rest of the population, it is important to be able to read those signals, to say, oh, you know what? Now is the right time to get a person involved.
Yes.
And either that's reactively or proactively so that you can understand, oh yeah, this is it. This is the time. That is so important.
Maybe New Yorkers had it right in the fact that they're so preoccupied and um, hold on to the value of their time
Mhm.
so much. Like this is something that we're learning from that it's not a bad thing to value your time as you have more and more things that you want to do, not just things that you have to do, but
Yeah.
things that you want to do
Yeah.
that you can't get to. Like this is again, I think, a powerful moment.